Okay. While you're doing that, I'm gonna come over here. Okay. So the rival corp has been spreading mushrooms to make mutants. Okay. Consult AI about becoming mutants. 2 weeks with the penalty. Okay, I'm going to say that doesn't go down because this is a new project. So we've got these two. Well, I think it was upset about us trying to activate the androids, but I don't think we've done anything else to make it angry with us. And I guess, okay, this is interesting because we're kind of doubling down on this project. On the one, um, we just started a project to ask the AI about becoming mutants for this corporation, but we just finished this project consulting the computer about Dragon Corp's human experiments. So we're basically asking, which side do we pick, computer? Bearing in mind that this computer, this AI, is a rival of this one. So now we've kind of got like this triangle here. It might be connected to its own. I mean, it's not a corporation, but it's its own faction, basically. So we now have 3 factions. So what is the result? And I guess we can take these either way. We're trying to convince the mutants to move in, and that has finished. And then we've got this computer consultation about human experimentation. We're trying to learn a little bit about them and what was going on there. Is that part of the lore? Got so much stuff here, it's hard to remember. Okay. So, we entice them with the kale. The community now has a population of mutants. Okay. So I'm going to say we can take off the penalty now of the project. Okay. So we've learned that part of the human experimentation was uploading human consciousness into the androids. Put that under lore. PC was putting human consciousness into androids. Which could be why the AI, our AI, did not want us messing with those microchips. Because those microchips change the parameters, of intelligences. Okay. Now just looking at this, not only have we discovered this connection with the AI being in the computer, that AI, or those microchips, had a connection as well. Do we remember where we get those microchips from? I think they were just part of our initial scarcity, but so it's possible that those microchips were created by our AI, God, religion, whatever. Yeah, okay. So we don't actually know who they belong to, but we know there's actually more of a connection over to this stuff than anywhere else. That's one of the first things we established. Okay. That was the project finishing, right? So now we go on to the action for the week. Okay. So we discovered that that fire that had gotten started was actually done by Dragon Corp to cover up malfunctioning androids. Gonna have to have another lore card here. This is getting a little out of hand. Let me pull this over here somewhere. Um, the smoke was a good omen, yes, but the fire that happened earlier, where we lost a bunch of people because we were trying to protect our stuff. That's the fire you're talking about, right? Not this fire? Or are you talking about the smoke in the city? Okay, so this fire, not the big fire that killed a bunch of our people. It was the fire long ago in the city. Okay. So lore, we will. Oh my God, why? The smoke in the sprawl caused by DC covering up malfunctioning androids. Okay. Yeah. Whatever happened here, we saw it as a good omen. But now we know. Now we know it was actually a cover-up. Okay. So I think that's the end of the round. Objections? Okay. Let's move on. Untamed Fox. 5. Winter elements destroy a food source. If this was your only food source, add a scarcity. Or winter elements leave everyone cold, tired, and miserable, and project dice are not reduced. So it looks like we have the catfish, the fruit, or the kale. One of them is going to be a scarcity. Yeah. Oh, no, actually, wait a minute. What does it say? If it was your only food source, add a scarcity. Otherwise, it just straight up destroys one. So it actually is going to destroy one of the food sources. Now, bear in mind, we also were using the Android factory for food storage. I don't know if we were continuing that, but our main sources of food, the catfish, fruit, or kale, well, it wasn't as an abundance, but it was a resource because it was on the map. So I had it over here on the resource card, but we never had it as an abundance or a scarcity. Uh, we're trading them kale for catfish, is how that works. Boy, that's pretty brutal. Just straight up destroys it. Okay. So winter is particularly harsh here and destroys the kale, which is now going to cause a little bit of an issue. Come on. Because we were using that, so we didn't have to go fish for ourselves. The fish are still there. We didn't like fishing for it. Oh, damn it. Come on. Ah, dead. Dead plant life. We did. We now have the mutants here that we enticed them with that delicious kale, and now it's gone. Okay, so these go down by 1. We'll remove this from the resources. And let's see, our community, I guess that kills our trade deal then. So we no longer have a trade deal with the mutants because we have nothing to trade. Unless we want to start giving them canned fruit or something, which we have now found a lot of. We'll have to work on that then. I'm going to say that's a problem now. We have a disrupted food trade. So the catfish are still there, but now we're going to have to go fish for them ourselves again because we were having the mutants do that for us, and well, that's not a thing anymore. Put this line back in. Okay, so that was the event. Projects are done. We now need a new action for the week. Okay, so project then? Okay. So we will send a project to convince mutants to completely move in with us. We do not have any more kale to entice them, but hopefully, since we've already got some of them among us, that will convince them. Okay, objections. Yeah, we'll find something. Okay, moving on. Pocket Ninja. Number 7. What is winter like in the area, and how do community members react to the weather? Okay, that's kind of a nothing, but it was enough to kill off the plant life, so that's a really weird one. It's a bit nippy. Yeah. Okay. So it's just a constant downpour. Freezing rain. So is that what we want to go with? Just like constant freezing rain? We can have that be part of the game. Okay. Well, I just say freezing because something killed the crops. We have to remember something was bad enough that all of our plant life died. So it's rainy, damp, dreary, frosty. It's pretty miserable here. So I guess we'll just say everyone reacts kind of depressed to that. So we can put that into the community. Depressing winter rains. Sure. Depressing winter rains. I'm not sure what that is going to have an impact for on our game here. But anyway, so our stuff has finished. So we have finished sending people to the anti-tech group to talk about the mushrooms, and we have finished talking to the AI about the consequences of becoming mutants and what it thinks. Also, let me know if it's getting a little bit late. I don't know how much longer the game is going to go, but could be an hour or two still. Well, do they know they have the chips? I don't think they necessarily know that we do. Although they might. Um, Remember, they came here with the woman from Dragon Corp who would have known that we had them, but we don't know if she told them, and that's why they come here, or we tried to use them and then they tried to sabotage. So we don't actually know what they know yet. I guess that's kind of what we're. That's up to you. Uh, what do you mean, simultaneously? I mean, we can you can pick which one to deal with first, I guess, if you'd rather. And I guess if we somehow made them work together, that's also a possibility. Yeah, they're kind of unrelated because one is us talking to the computer about the corporation, and the other was these people that we sent off to ask about the mushrooms. So unless these people know, now is that part of the lore actually? Do these people know? No, I don't think we've established that they necessarily know anything. Well, yeah, about the computer and the other corporation, or even about the mushrooms. I think we were just going to ask if they did know anything, but I don't know that we actually. I don't think we established that they did know anything about the mushrooms. I think we were just going to go ask. So it was in the past discussion. Uh, so yeah, we don't actually know if there's any way to connect them because they're kind of unrelated projects. And get rid of this because they took back control of the drones. So that's no longer part of this. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's going to become a problem then. That the anti-tech will only share info if we convince that we have no tech. Which is going to be kind of a problem since we have a massive supercomputer powered up underneath our settlement. Okay. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, what is the result of consulting with the computer? What's the computer think about the proposition of becoming mutants from the rival corp? Or maybe maybe the computer knows something about the corporation or the mushrooms or the effects of mutation or something like that. This one did become very intricate. Yeah. I'm afraid not. It is a generation of Pokemon that must be far beyond when I stopped being interested in Pokemon. Here, I will objects, components. Bring this up for the viewers at home. Oh, this is like a first generation. I have apparently forgotten about. So sorry. Well, look, the original Pokemon came out many, many, many years ago, and there were 150 of the damn things. Okay, so as part of the mutation, eventually the mushrooms will take over the body, or take over the brain, parasitically, trapping you in your own mind. So rather than become a vegetable, you become a fungus. Okay, so let's put uh, let's put that under lore then. The computer has told us that the mutant mushrooms are parasitic and take over the brain. Yeah, that was a very grim ending to RimWorld there, where she just got completely paralyzed and trapped in her body, fully awake. Okay, so it's probably safe to assume then that the AI would object to us attempting to become mutants. Because we now know that the mushrooms eventually take over the brain. Bearing in mind now that we are attempting to convince all the mutants to move in and become half of our population. So we're eventually going to have a bunch of people that are just trapped in their own bodies. Yeah. The computer does not condone this course of action. Okay, so that was the end of the project. Yeah, so now we need a new action. Okay, so we'll have a discussion now about the parasitic mushrooms. Parasitic mushrooms. Do not partake. And warn the mutants. Okay. These ones have very unfortunate side effects. Find a way to get rid of them. Okay. All right. Objections. I will end the video.